Wanting to be liked and fitting in are the two parasites that took over my entire body last year and held me down so much to the point where I contemplated even being here. I knew I couldn't keep living like this anymore. I knew I needed a fresh start. I needed things to change. You know, what's so crazy is to the world, I was just this amazing, successful influencer that was traveling all over the world, working with amazing brands. I just had life made. Wrong. Last year was one of the hardest years of my fucking life. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Last year, I had one of the biggest opportunities of my life and I broke down. I almost missed that opportunity. That's how fucked up I was. And I knew that something was wrong. Something was off. Like, my mind was literally going crazy. I had so much anxiety. I was overthinking everything. And I was essentially losing myself. I would not wish this feeling on anybody. So, thanks to therapy, thanks to journaling, thanks for being MIA a lot, taking a lot of breaks, I finally feel as if I've sort of gotten the system and the rhythm of like how I can attack all of these things. So literally one by one, I attacked each area of my life where I felt needed that work and needed that attention. And I essentially grounded myself and worked on what my issues were. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still a work in progress. I am not 100% healed. I don't think anybody is. But here are some things that actually really helped me in this journey that I think could help you. Number one is following your gut. So for me, listening to my gut looked like this little voice that was telling me that something was off, right? So I went through this weird experience in life where I just was outgrowing my old ways. I was outgrowing myself. I didn't know who my new self was, but I just knew that I just was not messing with my old self anymore, right? And I just knew that I was craving more deep experiences. I was craving more wholesome things that just kind of made me have a better idea of like why I'm here, what I'm doing, why am I doing what I'm doing, just things like that. I just knew that I wanted more and I wanted to just get better at grounding myself and figuring out who the hell I am and what do I want. I can't tell you what that gut looks like. I don't think anybody can. The only thing that I can really say is that when there's something that keeps on bothering you day and night, there's a feeling that tells you something isn't okay or something is okay, that you need to either jump or you need to either quit. Whatever that is, follow that. Listen to that voice and honor it because it really will honor you in your future. Second point is taking control of your mind, right? And when I say taking control of your mind, I mean really taking control of your mind. Because I think it's nice to watch inspirational, motivational things, right? And feel sort of this spark of like motivation or inspiration in that moment. But then it fades. It stops. You don't feel that anymore. What's going on? So I'm going to be honest with you guys. On my YouTube, I did a video talking about being delusional. You can dream anything you want. You can do anything you want. Who's going to stop you? Who's going to get in the way? And it was a cute moment. It was cute. But I realized that I didn't really align with that, right? Like, it was nice in the moment. I felt empowered in the moment. And then 2 months later, I'm depressed. I'm stuck. I'm worried. I'm anxious. I just don't believe in the sauce. I don't believe in the delusion that I said that I preach to you guys. So I think taking control of your mind looks like blocking out all that noise and honing in and focusing in on you. And you have to really believe it for you. Like, the word believe is such an expensive word because people think that they believe in things, but it's like when life really hits you, the things you want to do, or the person you want to be really challenges you, you have to believe. That's all you got, belief and faith. So the second thing you have to really do is control your mind and do that consistently. Every day, it's a challenge, but you have to show up and believe. The third point is doing the work. When I started therapy, I started to question my career, where I was going, my purpose, why I was doing it. I lost some friends, right? My mindset changed so much because of this new elevated person I was. And when I say elevated, I just mean like, because I became more in tune with me, I looked around and realized like, oh, this gotta go. This isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work for the life that I wanna live now or who I wanna be. It just doesn't align anymore. It does get to a point where you really have to just do that work and get rid of and remove everything that isn't serving you anymore and everything that doesn't align with the future person that you're going to be. So I mentioned align a lot with the last point, right? This next point is alignment. Y'all, I am so obsessed with the word alignment. I want to get it tatted. I'm just trying to figure out where in my body I want to get it tatted. The word alignment showed so much to me last year that I was like, so alignment essentially looks like letting the universe or God present things to you. You don't have to force it. You don't have to go the extra mile for it. It'll just flow to you. So it reminds me of this opportunity I got with the amazing comedian Yvonne Orji. Insecure came out, I think in like 2016 or 2015, which was like years ago, right? So I feel like we all watched that show, right? And we all saw how amazing the character Molly was. This story about alignment is when I really, really knew like, wow, God is working, and like the universe and God is really working in your favor. So as long as you're there to receive it and just be ready for it. So boom. Once our comedy show, right? It's so funny. I actually didn't want to go at first because at the time I was feeling like just sick and moody. Didn't feel like going. I ended up going to the show, right? And we actually follow each other on my Instagram. I DM'd her saying, hey girl, have a good show tonight. You know, thinking nothing of it. I actually have like 2 Instagram pages. So like, I didn't really go on the other one after I sent the DM out. Fast forward, the show was amazing. Duh. I get back home and I was like, something just told me. That alignment or that spirit, that gut. Something told me, let me just check this Instagram. I don't know. Because I, again, didn't expect Yvonne to respond. Yvonne actually did respond saying, girl, what? You in town? Come backstage. I'm like, whoa, I'm home. This is what it looks like when you're forcing things. I was like, oh my God, like, are you still going to be around this week? Like, can we hang out? Can we do, whatever, right? Just trying to force this feeling of trying to just force this opportunity of meeting her. She was like, thanks for coming to the show. Thanks for coming. And I respect that, right? It was just like, girl, I don't know about okay. So 3 weeks later, I end up getting a email from her team saying, hey, Yvonne really loves your work. She would love for you to be in her new HBO special. I was like, This opportunity came to me and I was like, oh my God, Yvonne wants me to be in her project. You see how alignment works? I didn't have to work for the opportunity. I didn't have to do anything. I simply was just in the position to receive and it came to me. So I do this amazing thing in LA and I go there, and even though I was feeling very moody at the time because of everything else I was going through in that year, I still showed up and delivered. And to this day, it still is one of the most amazing experiences or opportunities in my life because it really just shows what alignment looks like and not having to force things. I don't think you have to force things in life, right? I think God and the universe already knows what you want. So the most important thing you can do is obviously show up, be yourself, and wait for good things to come to you because it's already on the way. And with alignment comes courage. When I think about the lesson of courage that I learned, courage really looks like having those uncomfortable conversations with yourself in the mirror. Courage looks like honoring that voice or that dream or that idea in your head and actually doing it. A lot of you guys know me as an influencer. But the thing with being an influencer is that people believe that there's sort of a 1-step or 2-step, 3-step guide to becoming this amazing influencer. This is how you work with the brands. This is how you make the money. This is how you grow your following. And while there are some strategies that work, I found myself wanting to be like others instead of being myself. Mind you, I've been doing this for 10 years. So if you ask me, I was definitely in the earlier stages of influencers. So you would think that I'd have an idea of who I am, what I'm doing, and it working for me, right? No, I became so anxious and so scared that I wanted to just follow what everybody else was doing. I wanted to sort of follow what was making people money, what was getting people opportunities, all those kind of things. And the alignment and the voice in my head told me that I had to stop. This stuff is paying my bills, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I moved out. It's just me paying my bills. This is my future. And it's all dependent on me. Nobody wants to not make money. But this path that I'm going on, such a different path because I haven't seen anybody do exactly what I want to do. That courage to continue to follow that dream is what I needed at the time, because last year, my purpose was revealed to me, right? I really, really enjoy storytelling. I really, really enjoy telling a good story and adding characters and elements and sort of just producing that and sharing that with you guys, right? So that looks like being a screenwriter. Screenwriting is something that I want to get into, and I'm working on it. I sort of have an idea of how I want to tell my stories, and to some people it's really dramatic, but to me, this is how I want to show up in the world. The courage can also look like moving to a new city. All these things is just things that I was scared to do because I'm like, well, what would people think? And is this gonna make me money? And what? And you just have to, like, again, cut out all that noise, ground yourself. Think about what is aligned with you. That fucking LA opportunity, the HBO opportunity, it was just crazy, right? Because it was acting was something I wanted to do as well, but I just didn't think it would be here. And, you know, so courage looks like following that voice in your head and deciding to do it. Like, actually make that first step and go. Jumping is so scary because you don't know if you're gonna land on a cloud, land on land, or just die. I think what jumping looks like to me is like this trip that I had to Dubai, or even going on my first solo trip, right? Everyone around me was like, this is this crazy idea. What are you gonna do for 5 days? You don't have any friends. Like, why are you? And for me, there was like a clarity that came with jumping. It was doing stuff that people sort of looked down on, or people had opinions on, or criticized. And even when I was in Dubai, I was doing things that I wouldn't normally do. And I was just going places that I wouldn't normally go. And then I also met up with some people that I found jumped in their own journey. There's this influencer that I knew that lives in Atlanta. She moved to Dubai. She barely posts. She has her businesses. Like, to me, it was just so courageous and how comfortable and confident she was in her skin. Her name is Walanda, by the way. It's Important Chocolate on Instagram. She also has a YouTube. I think her story is so amazing because Walanda is somebody that does not follow the status quo. Walanda is somebody that listens to her own heart and jumps. She's a Haitian girl that grew up in Florida. What is she doing in Dubai? She's essentially listened to her own voice and jumped. Something told her to move to Dubai, so she did. This girl has no friends out there, didn't know anybody out there, just jumped. So hearing her story in Dubai, when I was just sort of having this euphoric kind of experience, really made me feel good about my journey in jumping. And when you jump, you just never really know what's going to happen. It could be really amazing things. So jump. Just jump. This last point is definitely very sensitive to me because I'm obviously still living in this life. These things that happened to me 10 years ago, right? It's happening now. And being alone is something that no one really prepares you for, right? Especially when you're used to being very social and used to just having a lot of people around you. Alone for me definitely looks like outgrowing your old ways, outgrowing the old person you were. It can look like not necessarily being able to connect with people in the same way. It can look like losing friends, losing touch with family, quitting your job, it can just be, it's a dark and it's a beautiful time. It's a dark time because you literally decided to just leave situations and things that just don't work for you. And the beauty in that is that all that noise, those opinions, all those just distractions, being alone gives you that opportunity to really focus on yourself. And when I say really focus on yourself, it looks like not even knowing people's business. I was just talking to Donald about it briefly today about, I don't really care what bad is going on for people, nor do I really care what good is going on for people. And not in like a not supportive or like not caring way. I think that I'm a supportive, caring person, but I think that not dwelling or investing so much time in other people and their story, especially when you're in your transformational stage, is really, really important. So get comfortable with being alone. So I don't mean like don't hang out or don't do fun things or see family, but I mean with like being more intentional about being present with yourself is the biggest thing that I'm still figuring out as I am navigating being more alone than I've ever been in my 27 years of life. I think that no one really prepares you for the moment in your life where you know better and you actually have to do better, because going back to your old ways is safe, it's comfortable, but in reality, it's actually really making you unhappy. And you have to say goodbye to the old you. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about habits that really, really helped me to get out of this dark space and into a lighter, more aligned place. So make sure you subscribe.